Hello everybody, Montague14 back again with a brand new video, and I apologize for the way how I sound is because I'm a little bit tired for right now for building this layout. Like, I just got done building this layout, and I just got done putting all the engines into sets because usually when the people do their little layout videos, they usually like set up trains and stuff like that, so that's exactly what I did. I know I've not been on YouTube for like a while, but here's a brand new video just for you guys to know that I'm not dead just yet. So, before we go ahead and begin, we gotta go ahead and address about what am I gonna be doing for the future. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna be talking about that in like the next video. So, pretty much right now, let's just go ahead and discuss about this new layout that I just built for for Solar's future. Now, Solar's future may not be coming anytime soon, because I don't have all the stuff I need for at the moment. I could just have what I have, like these two, for example, like my LBSC Thomas and my Trackmaster Custom Made Timothy, which will be a part of my episode 1, but you guys will see what I mean. But I'm talking about things like I need a brand new Diesel 10, for example. I have no idea why I just fixed him up like this. And a brand new splatter, which is pretty much this one. This version is just pretty much a repainted version of Diesel. And Dodge. Now, pretty much there's nothing wrong with Dodge. It's just that he don't have a motor. Now, I know. Now, pretty much Dodge is not really going to be used that much in my series. Pretty much he's just only going to be there just sit there. But I just figured, why not go ahead and buy a brand new splatter and Dodge. Now, maybe. That's a maybe. Like, I'm not sure if I'm just going to sorry about that, everybody, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make my series with those diesels. Maybe I could just go ahead and make my series right now, but just pretty much for right now, Solar's future is not coming anytime soon, for at the moment at least. Like I said, I might be just go ahead and just go ahead and make it, but that stuff right there, all of that is just pretty much the reason why I'm my series may not be coming anytime soon, because that is just like a pile of crap. So let's just go ahead and get on with the layout. I already rambled for about like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So let's just go ahead and start here at Nefford Station. So over here, what I did was that let me just sit down for the moment. So what I did is that I use some old toys that I used to have back when I used to play as a kid, called Brio or Trio, whatever it's like to call. Or it's basically like a different type of version of Legos, but you have to use these little poles right here to like connect them. So I just figured, you know what? I don't even use these stuff that often, and so therefore, why not just go ahead and recycle them? So therefore, I just pretty much built myself a Nefford Station. And so there's like 4 platforms where Doug or Donald, Duck, Oliver, and Douglas is, and they're all just sitting there just for fan service. And if we come here at Donald's line, which is I think it's Thomas's line. Yeah, this is Thomas's line. If we start off at Donald's line, we come over here into a switch. If we go back here, we come upon the shunting yards, where Gordon's Express coaches and a few goods trains are placed here. And over here is just pretty much where the sheds is, and also where the coaches go. Over here is just where all freight cars go, and probably Brainflight coaches, maybe, but that's not important. Just pretty much this is the shunting yards. Now, the reason why I did that, like, just pretty much went quiet, because whenever I see people building layout videos, I just pretty much figure that they're just showing that just so people can build their own layouts just like that. So that's pretty much one of the reasons why I just went like that. So you guys can pretty much build this layout anytime that you guys want. So we come across right here, and then Thomas just like puffs over here, passing by Tinmouth. Over here we have his Tinmouth sheds, which is like completely deserted, and it has like 7 spots in the sheds, just like it is in the television series. It just only has like those 2 sidings. Right here is probably where that Gordon takes a dip reference. And trust me, guys, you're going to see a whole lot of reference in this video, which is one of the reasons why this whole track is not that much set it up. But anyways, so we come across over here. Thomas puffs to Tidmouth Station, and as he stopped there, we continue on helping forward, and then finally we come across a junction. Now, the track that Edwards is on is the branch line track, but we're gonna see that here in a second. Right here, Henry is pretty much on Thomas's branch line, but that will be explained here in a second as we continue on with the video. So pretty much this is a reference from that episode, Sneeze and Whistles. That's what it was. So yeah, so this is a reference from Sneeze and Whistles as Edward and Henry. Now I have no idea why the minifigure Gordon is sitting right there, is just sitting there. I just placed him there because I don't know why. But yeah, this is a reference from Whistles and Sneezes as Gordon puffs across Gordon's Hill, which apparently I will be like covering up this little area right here, which is also another reason. Pretty much Sorter's future's not coming because apparently of sets needs to be filled in. So yeah. So Gordon comes down the hill, and this is another reference from the television series. The first episode of the television series of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, episode 1, Thomas gets tricked. And here we have is just Gordon dragging Thomas around Sodor. Just pretty much having a good time. So, Thomas passes by Wellsworth, and then we come across a junction. As this is a little bit a crossover mix between the branch line and the main line. This track leads up to the mainland, which is why that drawbridge is there. And I will put like another blue tarp or blue towels, something like that, right here. But this is pretty much where the mainland engines come, and then they just pretty much come across this little junction. So, you continue on huffing forward, and then here we arrive is Vicarstown. Here we have this Flying Scotsman and Spencer just chillaxing and just talking about stuff, and I think so. We continue on puffing over here, and then finally we come across another area that needs to be filled up and a little bit cleaned up. This is where that we come across to branch lines and main lines finally going to their little separate ways. Pretty much this is the branch line a little bit, and then it comes across into a mashup into a corner. This track right here leads up to the main line, and this track right here leads up to the branch line. So let's go ahead and take this track. So Thomas puffs across the hill, which is the reason why, because apparently this looks a little bit unrealistic as if like you guys already know. So we just pretty much puff all the way up at the top of the hill that Thomas has, and then he just pretty much puffs all the way down here. Now, I was at first thinking about like building a bridge right there, but then after really looking at this, it may look a little bit unrealistic, but I maybe would just put a little bit of bridge right there as a reference to that little bridge on the branch line in the television series, and just pretty much just like fill up a little areas over here. Now this would probably will failed maybe I have to like go ahead and redesign this, but maybe, like I said, maybe. So we just come across down here, and here we have is my phone charger just sitting there in the middle of the track. So we just pretty much come down the hill, come around this little corner, and then we arrive on the Arsdale branch line. So these two tracks come together into a little mashup. So then we come across another junction. This track leads up to the hopper where the little engines, the Arsdale engines. Now, unfortunately, I cannot just like I have no idea why I did not plan this. Yeah, there's no narrow gauge engines on this little track. I have them, they're all up there, but I just wanted to go ahead and do this video and get this video over with. So yeah, so that's a little Arsdale track, and then we just like puff across the branch line, and then we come across two more junctions. These two tracks still is the branch line. It's just one that leads up to Bradham Docks, as this one leads up to Farquhar. So this track leads up to Farquhar, but let's just go ahead and take this track first. So we just puff forward, passing through a little crossing, and then we go underneath the tunnel of Gordon's Hill. And then we come across, and then we're back again with Henry and Edward, but this time we're going to take it back into Edward as we come across to a few junctions. And finally we arrive at Bradham Docks. Now, This can easily be for the mainline engines, which is why I did not put a bridge there, which we will discuss about that here in a second. So pretty much here is a little junction as Edward comes across over here. If we take this track, this is pretty much of a siding where Percy takes the plunge. Here we have his Cranky having a happy day, and here we have his Salty in a little siding that I made. Here we have his Harvey, a custom-made Harvey with a custom hook, and here we have his the breakdown crane, custom-made as well. So if we puff forward, we come across another track, which isn't really that much of a siding, more of a sheds, and then finally we come across the same area where Edward is. If we take this track, we lead up to the sheds, where I think it's about like 7 engines. No, wait, no, this is, yeah, this is 7. Here we have is like 7 engines that works on the Sudbury, I think, and Wellsworth branch line. Here we have is Ben, Bill, custom-made Boko, which I will be replacing it. My custom-made Colin, which I will not be replacing, as well with a Lily and an Adam, and my custom-made Bear, which I will replace, as I saw an engine that looks like Bear on the internet. So pretty much, here's all my engines that works at Brandon or on Edward's branch line. So we come across over here, and then finally, you already know, that little thing just collapsed. But anyways, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So we take this track, we lead up to a little road crossing as that reference to Thomas, Birdie, and the Great Race, as they have their little race thing. So we come across over here, and we finally come across where Thomas backs up his coaches into Farquhar. So if we come backwards over here, we finally arrive to the quarry, as we have is just a little siding right there, which pretty much Mavis or whoever lives there sits. And here we have is a little quarry that came with Sir Handel that I have all the way over there. So if we come across over here, we finally end up back into Nafford, where Donald, Douglas, Duck, and Oliver all lives. Or, I mean, not lives, just sitting there. So if we come across... So if we keep on puffing over here, we finally reach up at Ellsbridge, as where that the main line and the branch line all connect to pick up their own passengers. Oh man, I'm out of breath, everybody. So if we continue on puffing, we finally come across another junction, where we either go straight or go to this way. Now this is pretty much just like that track where Spencer is, because this is also a track where the mainline engines can puff into, and as well as the branch line engines. So they pretty much puff over here and just lead up to Brandon. And then finally we come across over here, and then we arrive at the junction where, let me fix this, I probably kicked that as we recorded. Here we have is the low narrow gauge engines. Here we have is Scaroli right there, just pretty much shunting trucks up the incline, working extremely hard. And here we have is Rusty waiting for a standard gauge engine, which I will be replacing because it's just a scruff painted in orange. And here we have is Duncan as supposed to be a reference to that episode Rock and Roll, as Duncan gets stuck into the tunnel, but he's not quite in it because Duke is in his way. Right here where Duke is just a little siding as he sees Stuart and Falcon, aka Sir Handel and Peter Sam, as that little reference to Grandpuff, as Duke is saying that would never suit his grace. And then finally, our last narrow gauge engine is Renez pulling a few coaches as that reference to Gallet Old Engine. So pretty much this little layout is just like a one big circle just with a track going underneath a bridge. So we continue on puffing straight, and then finally we come across that little junction where the branch line and the main line all connect. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I pretty much filled in everything. Oh wait, no, we got to get down to the mainline track. Oops, silly me. So these two tracks are the main line. So pretty much pretty much they just like connect to every way as I could. So I think this track right here is the main line, and that track right there is just like the branch line, as mainline edges and branch line edges all connect. So we continue on puffing straight, and we finally connect to that track, which lead up to Tinmouth. So they're connected, and then finally Gordon approaches up at Gordon's Hill, and then it comes down the hill, and then finally we see Gordon and Thomas in their little reference. So therefore, Gordon continues on puffing down the blue track, which is Tommy, and then finally we reach up at Vickerstown, where Von Scotsman is. So we just go underneath the bridge, and this time we're just pretty much going to go straight, since that's the main line. So therefore, we continue on going straight, and then we just come across another corner, which that track leads up back to Nafford, as in we already saw that. So therefore, we're just going to take this track, because that track leads up to the Farquhar. That's it. So therefore, we take this track, and then there's like three ways that we can go. This way leads up to Henry's Tunnel, as Peter is just chillaxing in there. So therefore, we just come across over there, and this is like a perfect way of how like engines have the races or test out about how good as the battery is. Now, as we see there, we have his 2 take-along diesels. Now, I believe you guys are wondering, wait a minute, who are those engines? And why they're take-along on a Trackmaster track? They're not supposed to be there. And you guys are right, they're not supposed to be there, but I just brought them over here because apparently I got to get them repainted. And they are Splatter and Dodge, by the way, because apparently I'm redoing Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which will be a discussion that we will be talking about. So, we continue on puffing over here, and then finally we reach up back at the Nafford station where Duck and Donald is. So we come across. So then we come back where we started, and then finally we take this track, the single track, and here we also come across a little junction, which isn't really that much important because here we have as a little reference to the episode Flying Kipper. As we see here is an O-shaped Henry, which I would not be replacing because this thing is actually good as it runs very, very well. Almost runs very well. And, yeah, just pretty much like this. And here we have is James shunting Henry into Crew, which I know that Henry went to the mainland for Crew, but I just figured why not just go ahead and place him here. So pretty much just James is just shunting Henry into the Crew. So, yeah. So we continue on puffing this way. We come down to this little wacky track right here, which is just like this. But I just figured why don't you go ahead and place this here because I'm running out of straight tracks. So therefore, these tracks is connected all the way up to Ellsbridge, which is another reference to the Thomas Wooden Railway toy line, as that little said called Henry Comes Out, as it has the Henry Tunnel and Ellsbridge. So I just figured why not go ahead and make this little reference. So then it just continues on all the way and reaches up at Oliver on his track. And so, yeah. Now, that's pretty much it for the island of Sodor. But the last thing I want to go ahead and point out is this. This, everybody, is the Cordyfell Railway. And just pretty much it's just like a simple square, circle, pretty much. But the only thing that has like a siding is just this. And you guys just pretty much saw that. So that, everybody, was my my Island of Sodor layout. I just video. Click like if you guys want me to continue on making these kind of shows, which I highly doubt because this video is like 20 minutes long. So, yeah, like I said, click like if you guys want me to continue on making these videos, which I highly doubt. And yeah, I'll just pretty much see you all in the next video. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and get on down to the next video. And if you guys are not interested, then have a good day.